Howdy folks, and welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly in World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. It has been a while since I did one of these videos for you, and well, yeah, I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks. First there was the Wargaming League Grand Finals in Poland, and then there was Tiger Day at the Bovington Tank Museum, and shut up Jingles, we don't want to hear your excuses, we just want to see tanks. Well, okay. You got me. The first thing I'm going to show you today is a very amusing and very quick E25 replay. This is B Trasher in the E25, the German premium tier 7 tank destroyer, which is no longer available for purchase in World of Tanks. Why did they remove it from the game? Well, it was one of those machines with premium matchmaking. It would only ever see tier 7 or tier 8 games. It would never get into a tier 9 game the way other tier 7s would. Well, why was that? Well, it was because of the gun. Basically, this thing has the gun of the Stug 3, which is a tier 5 tank destroyer. And you don't really want to be taking this 75mm L70 gun into a tier 9 game. So they gave it premium matchmaking, but they also gave it an absolutely ridiculous rate of fire. This thing can pop a shot off something like every 2.5 seconds. Factor in the fact that it's ridiculously fast, has thin but very well sloped and surprisingly trollish armour, and, as that AMX-12T just found out the hard way, very, very stealthy. And there you go, just bounced a shot from the AMX-12T's autoloader at point-blank range. Thin armour, but surprisingly trollish. Artillery takes a shot at him, doesn't have a chance of hitting him. Not at the speed this thing moves. He's just going to stop to deal with this Churchill 3. Hold still there, Mr. Churchill. I want to shoot at you. Hang on, where do you think you're going, sunshine? We'll worry about the Chinook in a moment. He's completely oblivious to our presence. We're just going to murder this Churchill. And then we're going to slaughter this Chinook by firing a shot through the wall and taking almost all of his health off, and then driving casually up behind him and pumping a shot into his big fat Japanese arse. But that guy just appeared to be completely oblivious of the fact that there was an E25 murdering a Churchill right next to him. Look at this thing go. Now obviously not every game you play in the E25 is going to end up like this, but a lot of them do. So why did they remove the E25 from the gift shop? Was it just because it was one of those premium matchmaking machines, or was it because this thing is absolutely ridiculous? I think it was because this thing was absolutely ridiculous. Hang on, Mr. 12T there. Oh, I should mention he's in a platoon, by the way. That's going to be important later on. He's platooned up with this AMX-12T and a Tiger P who's fighting out in the town. They've just nailed the artillery. Have a look at how many kills they've got between the 3 platoon members. Oh, and while you're doing that, here comes a Comet. Oh, you're in trouble now. It's a tier 7 medium with a rapid-firing 75mm gun. He's just going to circle strafe you to death. Oh no, he isn't. That's the thing about the E25. The speed and manoeuvrability of this thing. It's able to turn so quickly that you often get rushed by people in fast medium tanks who think, ah, you're just a tank destroyer. Oh no. No. I have very, very badly upset guys in T44s who thought they were going to get the better of me when they managed to close the close range with this thing. You are by no means guaranteed a victory if you manage to get a fast medium close to one of these things. And it's just turning into a melee now as everybody's struggling to get the last kill. He actually takes some friendly fire there from a Sherman over on his right, desperate to get the kill on the artillery. T29, oh, he's fired. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, good night, sweetheart. And I believe that's a crucial contribution for the platoon. 12 kills between the 3 of them. 8 from the E25, and now all they have to do is find, well, I say all they have to do, it is Bert the Avenger after all, the FV304, although they've got a pretty good idea where he's hiding. Up there in the top left corner of the map. There goes the Sherman. He's around here somewhere. There you are, you handsome little British bugger of an artillery you. Look over here. Watch the E25, watch the E25, don't watch the Sherman. Yep, you should have been watching the Sherman. Crucial contribution for B Trasher in his E25 on Ensk. Next up we have Archelon 9 in the Mark III Sherman. This is the British version of the Sherman medium tank. He's got his equipped with the 105mm howitzer, and all he wants to get out of this game is 2 tank destroyer kills and to survive the battle, because if you can do that, medium tank mission 15 in the personal mission set for the Stug 4 Premium Tank Destroyer will be complete. And he's in with a pretty good chance because there are 6 tank destroyers on the enemy team. He only has to kill 2 of them. No, that's not a tank destroyer. It's an M3 Lee. I know it looks like a tank destroyer. A very bad tank destroyer. But it's actually a medium tank. This is the only downside really with this 105mm howitzer. It takes so long to aim that you do take a lot of return fire. But he's killed the Lee, but he's had to pay for it with about 1/5 of his health. And then another target pops up and god damn it, it's another medium. Where are all the tank destroyers? Well, that hit he just took from the left hand side, that was a tank destroyer. And there's another one. That's an Su-85. Now he's up there at the top end of the road that runs down the side of the lake. So the good news is he's found a tank destroyer, sort of. The bad news is it's cost him half of his health. And it's also cost him the use of his repair kit, because both of those shots from the Su-85 not only did damage to the tank, they also blew his tracks off. So he couldn't sit there tracked, getting flanking fire poured into him from a concealed Su-85. And this is a bit brave of him, because that's exactly where that Su-85 was firing from, although he is actually quite safe here. And that's not a tank destroyer either. God damn it, come on! I mean, we'll kill the light tank if we have to. Oh, what was that that just popped up? Yep, there he is. You see him on the map? He's just been spotted. Nails the light tank, and there is one of the Su-85s. And he's retreating. Come on, load and aim. Come on. Come on. Oh, it didn't kill him. Oh, what's he got to do? And he's going to get away before he gets to reload. So he still hasn't killed a single tank destroyer. He's nailed one medium, one light. He's badly damaged another medium, but no tank destroyers. Come on, Archelon, you can do it. This is a bit brave, by the way, driving along this side of the lake. Especially considering that that's exactly where the Su-85 went, and that's artillery. That's not a tank destroyer either. And neither's that. What do we have to do to kill a tank destroyer today? Oh, hang on. There's one up there on the right. We're going to have to kill this guy first, though. Oh, and he's been tracked. Oh, isn't that nice? How bad? Oh, somebody else got the kill! He took all the hits and didn't get the kill. Come on, Archelon. 2 tanks. There's 6 of them on the enemy team. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. Come on. Come on. Yes! 1 down, 1 to go. Do it for medium tank mission 15. 1 more tank destroyer kill. There's still 3 of them left. There's another Su-85, a Stug, and a Hetzer. Nope, that's not going to be good enough. You're going to need to be quick. Oh, somebody's killed the Stug. Alright. Su-85, Hetzer. Kill either of them. Survive the game. Medium tank mission 15 is complete with honours. Come on. You can do it. Do it for the British Empire. And... no, it's not enough! Oh. Alright, alright. They're still in play. You know where they are. Get the gun reloaded. Finish them off. Come on. Come on. There, he's missed. He's missed. Alright, he's down. There's the last one. Come on. Yes, he's done it. Get in there, my son. Medium tank mission 15 complete in the Churchill 3 British tier 5 medium tank. And now, all he has to do is survive the game and he completes the mission with honours. And so, of course, what happens now is that the very unfriendly KV-1 behind him decides that he needs to be team killed for no good reason that I could figure out. Because that's what happens in World of Tanks when you're playing with random teammates. Well, World of Tanks patch 9.7 is now out, and it brings a host of new features, not least of which, of course, is the new Overlord Normandy map recreating the D-Day invasion. A lot of people are obviously very keen to play on this new map, and it is a spectacularly pretty new map. However, as some of us have come to notice, it is not without some issues, particularly if you're on the team that starts in the northern spawn. Because from time to time, if you do have the misfortune of being in the team that starts on the northern spawn, for some strange reason, World of Tanks doesn't bother putting any fuel in the engines of your tanks. Not one of these guys is able to move his tank. They can all turn the turrets, they can all fire the guns, but they can't move the tanks, which, well, it's making this a very, very one-sided battle indeed. Bit of a turkey shoot, really. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Look at this. Well, I say it makes it a very, very one-sided battle, but you'd be surprised, because this isn't the only surprise that the new Normandy Overlord map has in store for the teams. I mean, not being able to move the tanks is a bit of a surprise for the team that starts on the northern spawn, but there's a couple of surprises in store for everybody else as well. Pay attention to the left-hand side. See that M5 Stuart? He's just fallen off a cliff. Except he hasn't. He wishes he'd just fallen off a cliff. Look at him go. And, oh, he's got some friends down there as well. Come back and fight, you cowards. What are they all doing down there? And there goes the VK2801. It is possible, under certain circumstances, and as far as I can tell, the circumstances just seem to be drive your tank forward. But it is possible, in fact it's extremely likely, that if you move too far forward on this map, you're just going to, well, fall through the world. So if you start off on one team, it's a random roll of the dice and whether or not you're actually going to be able to move the tank out of the cap circle at the start of the game. And if you start off on the other team, well, that. Go home, Wargaming. You're drunk. Apart from that, it's a pretty good map. Right, well, that was all very silly, so it's time to get slightly more serious, and this is Cabana 90 in the German Tier 10 heavy tank, the E100, with the 150mm gun. And yes, we may as well get this out of the way right at the start of this replay. He is firing nothing but high explosive anti-tank premium ammunition. So if you want to rage in the comments about what a premium ammo firing scrub he is, then get it out of your system now so that we can enjoy the rest of the replay in relative peace and quiet. Yes, this is not the way I drive my E100. I make a point to not use premium ammunition in it wherever possible, and I do 4,000 to 5,000 damage in a game with my E100 on a good game. Cabana 90 does substantially more than that. The high explosive anti-tank ammunition for this gun has 334mm of penetration. The standard ammunition only has 235, which is pretty terrible. It's also a horrifically inaccurate gun. And so I make that work by just getting it up close, driving my E100 right into the enemy team's faces where the lack of accuracy doesn't really matter, and I can hit weak spots if I have to with 235mm of penetration. What that does, of course, is it substantially limits my options. It means that I have to play the E100 as a close-range brawling machine. If you're going to use the high explosive anti-tank ammo, it does give you more options. You can make this thing work at long ranges where you don't stand a chance of actually hitting a weak spot, but you don't really have to because it has 334mm of penetration. So yes, Cabana is firing nothing but heat ammunition, and in some circumstances during the course of this game he's going to be firing heat ammunition when he would have been better off firing regular armor piercing, but it's his tank, it's his money, it's his choice. And the choice of ammunition that he fires in this game is really not the point of the replay. Just get it out your system now in the comments if you want to have a go at him for firing nothing but heat, and then come back and watch how he plays. So, now we've gotten that out of the way, this is actually an assault match on Erlenberg, and Cabana is on the attacking team, so it's a 10-minute time limit, and there's not that much of the 10 minutes left. E100, not a particularly quick machine. The enemy team have not elected to come forward and defend, they're actually going to be defending from the cap circle. And it looks like that Carnarvon over there was probably the only member of his team who was actually trying to do an active defence, and got caught on the back foot as he tried to fall back. And there we go, good solid hits. Cabana is taking all kinds of fire here, but E100, long range fire, very, very strong tank, and he's managed to move forward off the ridgeline while he's looking for the kill on this Carnarvon and get the tank actually pointed down slope, which is, it's making it next to impossible for anybody shooting at him to hit his lower glacis, and he's finished off the Carnarvon, and then bang, his tracks get blown off by a Jagdtiger. So he knows there's a Jagdtiger out there somewhere. Gets the tracks repaired, very, very good repair skill on his crew here, and moves forward to get that building between himself and the Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger definitely has the kind of gun that you don't want to allow him to be taking repeated shots at your lower glaciers. So he moves forward, he gets some solid cover between himself and the direction from where that Jagdtiger's shot came. Backing up this Object 140, remember it's assault, they have to capture or kill all the tanks on the enemy team. And there's the ST1, and you can tell that he knows what he's doing here. He aims it straight for the angled cheek, which at that angle has less effective armor protection. He knows exactly where to shoot an ST1 from that sort of angle. He does know what he's doing. Moves up, there's the ST1 again. He's angled well. ST1, same shot. Yep, and again penetrates exactly the same shot. Takes, well, bounces the return fire. There's the Jagdtiger. Jagdtiger just sitting in the middle of the open field there, but he's in a depression in the ground. He's actually hull down, and there's no artillery in place. That's actually not a bad position for the Jagdtiger to be in. ST1 falling back. Tiger 2, no real threat. There's actually an IS-3 up there with them as well. He's keeping an eye on the ST1. Moving forward to engage the Tiger 2 and the IS-3. Both of those tanks are going to have problems dealing with him. But if he moves any further forward, he's going to give that Jagdtiger some shots at him. And the Tiger 2 looks like he's got the stock turret, and that was a good damage roll. 861 damage. That is not bad at all. So he's waiting for the ST1 to fire, I think. Because he doesn't want to give the the ST1's pulled back, alright? And the IS-3 is dead, so that gives him the opportunity to move forward and start taking the fight to this Jagdtiger. Now the Jagdtiger is hull down, but with high explosive anti-tank ammunition, 334mm of penetration goes through the Jagdtiger's upper casement like a hot knife through butter. Now you'll notice that while he's reloading, he's not pointing his turret straight towards the Jagdtiger, because that gives the Jagdtiger an opportunity to penetrate his turret armor, and the Jagdtiger, his impatience is going to get him killed here. Well, his impatience and 150mm high explosive anti-tank ammunition is going to get him killed. You'll note that Cuba Cabana is taking shots in the side of the turret from up on the hill, where there's a T-54, a Batchat and an Indian Panzer, but none of them are penetrating. Again, the Jagdtiger doesn't wait for him to point the turret towards him before taking the shot, and suffers for it. And it's at this point where Cuba Cabana throws the game. What do you mean thrown the game, Jingles? Well, he had over 70 capture points, and he was in the cap circle. Within another 10-15 seconds, he would have won this game. The odds are stacked against him. He's losing 8-11, but he's in a pretty strong tank, and he's in a pretty good position. And there are a couple of players on the enemy team who are going to be a significant threat. The Batchat, and the Leopard 1 in particular. There's the Leopard 1, and there is the Batchat, and, well, doesn't have to worry about the Batchat anymore. He would have already capped by now, but he made the decision to move out of the cap circle. Now he's moved back into the cap circle, and I suspect it's not because he actually wants to cap, it's because, well, this is just the best position to be in order to get some fire in on the remaining enemy tanks. He still has the Object 140 on his side, but he doesn't have an awful lot of health left, and the Object 140 has just nailed another tank, although he looks like he's in trouble now. In fact, yes, he is in a lot of trouble now. But he manages to kill the Leopard before they put him down. So very, very well played by the Object 140. But now the only other tank that Cuba Cabana has with him is an IS-3. And the IS-3 is running into AMX 1390 problems. So Cuba Cabana is pretty much, yeah, he's now 100% on his own against 4 enemy tanks. And here they come, T-54, T-62A, the Indian Panzer's dead, the 1390 is going to be coming, and there's an IS-8 out there somewhere as well. Plants a shot right into the side of the T-54, but then his tracks get blown off. And there's a T-62A behind him, and the T-54 has managed to get around behind him, and he's taken fire from the front from the AMX 1390. Takes a long time to reload the gun on this tank, so he takes care of the T-54. That's one gun less firing back at him, and then suddenly it's surprise butt sex time. Suddenly a wild IS-8 appears. Totally didn't see him coming, but given the pressure, it's understandable. 1390 behind him, IS-8, he's on fire, his engine's been knocked out, premium fire extinguisher puts the fire out, but now he's got 3 tanks behind him. He's on very low health, his engine's back up, but it's badly damaged. He has used his repair kit. However, he's not really going anywhere in a hurry. He nails the 1390, so now it's the IS-8 and the T62A, both of whom are on very, very low health. He takes another hit. His fuel tank is damaged, his engine is damaged, his tracks are damaged, his crew are all still together. He can still win this, and this is why he made the decision to move out of the cap circle. It's no cap, kill all again, isn't it? Unfortunately, that IS-8, while he might be completely stock, he does have the BL9 gun from the IS-3, still has all of his health. But now the scores are even. He's killed the T62A. He's got to deal with that IS-8. They're just... can he cap? Possibly. I can't do the maths in my head. There is not a lot of time left. He has over 40 cap points. He's probably wishing he hadn't left the cap circle earlier on now, but look at the damage he's done. Over 9,000 damage. The IS-8 still has all of his health, but he's almost completely stock. As I said, he's using the IS-3's gun, and the IS-3's gun is going to have problems dealing with an E100 at close range. Which way is this going to go? If the IS-8 manages to reset, and the IS-8 manages to reset, he took a hit, but now Cabana has to kill him. There just isn't time left for him to win by capping. With less than 40 seconds to go, he's going to have to get 2 shots at this IS-8, and they both have to penetrate. And that one didn't, so that is game over. The only possible way he can win this game now is if he ammo racks that IS-8. There just isn't enough time left in the match for him to reload the gun twice and get the 2 hits that he needs. So unless he sets this guy on fire, or unless he blows his ammo rack, this game is lost. And it's all because he decided to leave the cap circle and chase the kills when he could have won easily. And that is what it looks like when you do 10,000 damage on a defeat. And not only did he do over 10,000 damage, he also blocked 7,250 damage with his armour, and with a premium account, as well as his mastery badge and a whole clutch of medals, he earned 135,000 credits on a defeat. But after he'd finished paying for his ammunition costs, he was actually down almost 23,000 credits. So, 10,000 damage on a defeat. How can I possibly follow that? Well, actually, I've got just the game. This is Bargod in the Object 140. By the way, one for you statistics fans out there. The IS-7 on his team, see him up there, green player, top of the team list, 47,000 games played. He's currently sitting at a 53% win rating. For him to climb to a 54% win rating, he'd have to win something like his next 5,000 games. So yeah, he's pretty much stuck at 53%, which is good because he'd have to lose his next 5,000 games to drop down to 52% as well. So he's probably stuck at 53% for good. But anyway, back to the game. Oh, no, not quite. The Object 907, which is a Clan Wars reward tank, so it's, it's out of the reach of us mere mortals. But of the 3 that are readily available, I definitely think I like the look of the Object 140 more, because it has 1 degree more gun depression. It has 6 degrees, which is not good gun depression, but it's better than the 5 degrees that the others get. It's also the fastest, and while it doesn't really have the turret armour of the other 2, or even frontal armour as a whole compared to the T62A and the Object 430, it's certainly got enough armour at the front to deal with things like this WZ-131, particularly if, unlike that Rheinmetall Borsig, you're actually paying attention to what's going on your map. Rams him in the side, takes off half his health, and sends him home for an early bath. So there's his first kill, WZ-131. Rheinmetall Borsig, at the top of the hill, is still wondering what the hell just happened. Actually, pay attention to chat, because the guy in the Rheinmetall Borsig is really going to embarrass himself later on. Anyway, back to the game. Things weren't looking too clever over down there on the north-south road, running along the western edge of the map, but it looks like the team have pulled it back. So, with the threat on the road all but neutralised, he moves forward. Now, we know that there's a Foch 155 up ahead there somewhere, and you really don't want to get shot at by one of those things when you're in a medium tank, and there he is. There's an IS-3 as well. He pumps one into his rangefinder and then falls back. And Any second now. Bingo, there he is, 4502B. Sees this guy, immediately loads the high explosive anti-tank ammunition. Much better penetration than the standard APCR. APCR is pretty good, but this thing is ridiculously well armoured from the front. Now that was actually a very lucky shot. He actually managed to hit the front of his turret. You can see he's aiming for it again there, but misses it. But the 4502B took a lot of damage coming over the hill there. Turret front again. 416 pressing the attack, forcing him back. At this kind of angle, the side of the turret, he doesn't need the high explosive anti-tank ammo, but he's got it loaded anyway. And he's dead. Threat neutralised, switches back to the APCR ammunition. Rheinmetall Borsig, oh, he's taking a hit. Taking a hit, doesn't hang around. In a lot of circumstances, I am the kind of guy that would try to get that shot off and then fall back, but at that point you've already been spotted. You've been hit once, you don't know how many other tanks are turning their guns towards you. It's almost always better to fall back and not risk getting hit again just to do an extra 320 damage. You don't have a lot of alpha damage on these Soviet tier 10 medium tanks with 100mm guns. 320 average damage is about right. But unlike the British and American tier 10 mediums with their big 105mm guns, what you do have with these things are much more rapid firing guns. And you're going to see later on in this replay why that is a massive advantage in certain situations. He's determined to put one into that Foch. He's been spotted. Oh, he doesn't have much of a shot, but he makes it work. Now, one of the weaknesses of the Object 140 is it's there. It has a very thinly armoured turret top that can easily be overmatched by tier 10 tanks. In fact, a lot of tier 9 tanks as well. 30mm of armour on the top of the turret. Also, those cupolas really do bulge out a lot as well. So he took a big hit from that Foch 155. So Bargod decides that the Foch 155 can keep that end of the map. He's going to turn his attention elsewhere. The eastern end of the map is in trouble. He only has the render range to see these two IS-3s, so he starts putting the gun to work on these guys, but they have one IS-3 just outside of his render range there, all the way over on the far eastern side of the map, and, well, now he's gone. And there is now nothing stopping all of those enemy heavy tanks from rolling around into their base. There's an E100, there's an IS-3, there's a Tiger II. On the bright side, it's just the three of them. There's no longer an additional two IS-3s about to roll in behind them as well. One of the other good things about the Object 140 is it is the fastest of the tier 10 medium Soviet tanks. Its agility is very good, and it has fantastic ground resistance on its suspension. Speaking of its suspension, bang, there you go. With friends like that, who needs enemies? FV215B183 just plows right into his side, takes his tracks off, gets them repaired. It's cost him a little bit of time, but none of the enemy tanks over there were spotted anyway, so it didn't actually hurt him that much. Apparently it was drive your tank destroyers into medium tanks day. I wasn't aware that that was a thing. I must have missed the memo on that one. The Rheinmetall Borsig's trying to shoulder him out of the way as well, just paying no attention to where they're going. So he's going to give those guys some space, and he's going to pop down to the flank here to try to get some spots, because there's a whole bunch of enemy heavy tanks that broke through on the east, and they're in a position to threaten the cap. Now, from here, he's actually in a good position to spot, providing none of them have made it across the open field and up to the hill on the right. Spotted an IS-3. Unlucky not to actually do any damage there. But where's the rest? There was an E100 over there as well, and a Tiger II. You'll notice he didn't get spotted when he fired that first shot. Now, can he pull that off again? There's the IS-3 again. Come on. Fires through the wall, damages him. And he did get spotted that time. Takes a hit in the turret front, bounces, takes a hit from the right. That's the Tiger II. There's the E100 as well. Stops to take another shot at the IS-3. Doesn't finish him off, but he has to now turn around and deal with the Tiger II, who didn't hang around with the other heavies and managed to make his way over to the hill and the farmhouse all the way over there. Now, from the front, the Object 140's armour is good enough to deal with being shot at by a Tiger II, providing he doesn't hit the turret top, where the armour's only 30mm thick with those bulging Commander's cupolas. But he's pulled back. He's not going to be shot at by three tanks at the same time. He pulled back to get the ridgeline between himself and the E100 and the other IS-3. Let the tank destroyers on the ridgeline deal with them, and turned to deal with that Tiger II. The Rheinmetall Borsig has just died, and now he's going to do, well, it's quite embarrassing really. He's got more than a few thousand games played, his stats are pretty good, but he apparently has no idea how the spotting mechanics work in World of Tanks despite that, and he's just going to embarrass himself in chat. So while he's busy making a complete fool of himself, Bargod is working his way around to come and support this AMX 1390. 1390 is in a position to spot that Tiger II if he comes nosing over that ridgeline. But don't forget, as far as the Tiger II is concerned, Bargod is still up on the ridgeline with the Death Star. Now they also have a T110E4, but he's engaged in his own little fight up on the northwestern side of the map with a Leopard prototype, so they're both too far away to directly influence what's about to happen here. There's the IS-3, he's gone, and now here's the E100. And the E100 is a strong tank. But if you're just going to give people shots into the side of your turret, yeah, you're just making it easy. Definitely didn't expect Bargod to be all the way over here. And now this poor guy's just caught between the hammer and the anvil. It doesn't matter which way he turns his turret, he's going to be giving somebody a shot at him, and he doesn't have an awful lot of health left. Come on. Come on, Bargod. One more. Not quite enough. Death Star finishes him off, but now, check this out. That's the mouse. Now, he was last seen all the way over in the middle of the map, and this is a bold move from the mouse. He's actually driven all the way around, and he's come up behind the Death Star. Now, while he's doing that, the Foch 155 that we last saw at the beginning of the game has just killed the T110E4, AMX 1390 finishes off the IS-3 on the hill. The Death Star now has to turn around and point his gun towards the mouse, and by the sound of it, he's fired and either missed or bounced. Bargod can't get a shot at the mouse because the mouse isn't stupid. He knows he was taking flanking fire from an Object 140, so he's got a dirty great big rock between him and Bargod. He's killed the Death Star. Now there's just Bargod in his Object 140 and that AMX 1390. Still no sign of the Tiger II. The Foch 155 will be taking a position on the ridge above the mouse, ready to support him. Here comes the Leopard prototype. Knowing that the Foch 155 is likely to be in a firing position, this means that Bargod has very, very little space in which to manoeuvre in order to deal with this Leopard prototype. The 1390 has disengaged and is going after the Tiger II, so Bargod doesn't have to worry about what's behind him. He puts one into the Leopard fires and misses. With the Leopard's 105mm gun, it's got good alpha damage, it's got good penetration, but it's slow to reload, so in the time it takes him to reload his second shot, Bargod can put 2 more shots into him, and that's enough to kill the Leopard prototype. Meanwhile, the 1390 has also tracked down and killed the Tiger II, and wow, that was lucky. That was a track shot from the Foch 155, and that was a turret bounce from the Foch 155. That guy has to be cursing. But the question is, we're in a kind of Dirty Harry situation here. Did he fire 3 shots or 2? You know, was that his second and third shot in the magazine and now he's reloading, or was that just his first and second shot in the magazine and he has a shot to spare? Oh, and there's the mouse. Well, yeah. There's a sort of 2 out of 3 chance that the Foch 155 is now reloading. But I don't like those odds, because one solid hit is all it's going to take for the Foch 155 to kill him. So, hello Mr. Mouse. 1390 is away doing his own thing. He's trying to flank all the way around. The mouse is not a bad player, and he's almost on full health. 2 shots, potentially 1, are all it's going to take, but the mouse makes a critical error. And here it is. And this is why sometimes it's better to have a gun with low alpha damage but rapid firing high DPM than, for example, the British 105mm gun or the American 105mm gun, which has more alpha damage but sacrifices rate of fire, because when you've got a rate of fire like this, it's impossible for that mouse to repair his tracks without using a repair kit, and the mouse has obviously already used his repair kit, otherwise he would not be sitting here taking this humiliating pounding shot after shot after shot. There's the 1390, he's found the Foch 155. We're going to have to kill the mouse first, but that is not going to be difficult to do because he cannot move. He can't return fire because his gun is on the far side of the barn, he can't fire through it, and so Bargod is just sitting here farming damage over and over and over against the mouse. That was practically 3,000 free damage, which he wouldn't have been able to do if he hadn't been in a Russian tier 10 medium tank because of the rate of fire of that 100mm gun. So that was quite nice. Now it's time to go and back up the AMX 1390. However, observe what he's doing here. The Foch 155, you have to give him credit for being a good player. He knows where Bargod was because he just saw him killing the mouse. And you have to anticipate that by now he's got 3 shots reloaded into his magazine, and he's entirely capable of killing the 1390 and Bargod with 2 of those shots. So he's got to be anticipating Bargod attacking from the right hand side, which is where he was, and so that's exactly what Bargod is not going to do. And there's a lovely little bit of teamwork here. The 1390, he obviously sees where Bargod is, he's waiting for the right moment, he makes his move, puts one into the Foch, distracts him, turns him around, keeps out of the way of his gun, and just sets him up nicely for Bargod to get the kill. So, that's what 10,000 damage looks like on a win. Which makes a nice change. And a good result for the AMX 1390 as well, who played a blinder of a game and finished second on experience and damage, so well done to him as well. And a bit of a shame for the mouse on the enemy team, who had a bit of a heartbreaker there, but you can't all be winners. Now, have a look at his ammunition resupply costs there. 75,500 credits, even though he was very careful to only fire premium ammunition when he absolutely needed it. He only fired 7 rounds of premium ammunition during the course of this match, and 38 rounds of credit ammunition. But those 7 rounds of premium ammunition cost him 33,600 credits to reload. If he had fired nothing but premium ammunition during the course of this game, it would have cost him 216,000 credits to resupply his tank after this game. And not even a premium account is going to let you run a profit with those kind of ammunition costs. But, in case you're wondering what 10,000 damage looked like on a victory, well, look no further, thanks to Bargod in the Object 140. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the return of the good, the bad, and the ugly. As always, take care, have fun playing whatever you're playing, and I'll catch you next time.